It's Kareem Hawthorne, y'all, right here with us. Kareem, how are you?
I'm feeling good. I'm blessed and highly favored. This year has been a crazy year. I'm literally just getting back settled in. There was a hurricane that hit
Yeah,
Hurricane Delta. So please keep, all the victims of Hurricane Delta in your prayers. I'm safe, my family's safe. But
I was going to ask you about that. Yes.
listen, God is good though,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
devil is trying so hard, y'all. Like, I don't know, but I just feel like something good has to be coming. Like, I don't know what it is.
I
I'm
know,
asking
right?
because this is a mess. This
Yes.
is a mess.
Well, let's talk about you because great things have been happening for you, and God has really been blessing you. But it's not just because He's throwing out blessings. You have an incredible talent. You have a beautiful spirit. You did so well on the show. I was one of the people watching you. So, congratulations on all of your success and all of the things that you've been doing. But what people may not know, you didn't just get started at it. You've been working in your career. You've been grinding for a while. Tell us a little bit about where you're from and what you've been and how you got into business.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I've been singing ever since, personally, I can remember. I started performing and competing at the age of 7. So it's been like a super long journey. I give a big shout out and thanks to my mom, who basically like saw a gifting within me and saw like a purpose that God had over my life, and she like made it her business to literally
Yes.
just pour out and basically just invest in my gifting and put me in any avenue with singing to make sure I got better. And I started auditioning for things at the age of 11 and did that for years until I was old enough to do American Idol and I was old enough to do The Voice. And when I did The Voice, I made it all the way to the finals, and that kind of was like my moment of like, well, at least for myself, where I finally was like, okay, wow, I haven't been like working for this for nothing. And God does have a plan over my life for this. And ever since then, my journey kind of took off. Got signed to my label, put out a single, won't he do it? And the rest is
Won't
history.
he do it? Exactly. Now, obviously, looking at you, you're beautiful. You've got this incredible spirit about you. You could have gone secular and probably knocked Beyonce off the chart. Like seriously, with your voice, it is incredible. What made you want to sing for to inspire us and sing Christian music?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I personally feel like I didn't choose this for myself just because
Wow.
like this anything and like what's so crazy, like I was born and raised in church. Like
Mhm.
I literally people don't probably think I grew up the way that I did grow up in a
Mhm.
super strict traditional, a little religious background, which I'm grateful for because it shaped and it made me. But
Mhm.
I remember looking back because my mom actually like allowed me to do things that probably was out of the norm in the church world, had me competing. I was listening to everything. I was singing everything from Tina Turner to James Brown to Marvin Sapp to Carrie Underwood to like I wanted to do it all. So
Right.
being young in church, in ministry, looking at gospel music at the time, I didn't see a me. So I
Mm.
didn't think that I was gonna be able to do it. And I think like just having the opportunity to be on The Voice where I sung all types of music and people still felt inspired and like I don't know, like that kind of like hit a light bulb in me where God kind of was like I got you, like let me do this. And I feel like that journey for me has been like me with my hands off of it, and I kind of just allowed him to like lead God and direct my path. And I think like what's more so important to me is like God is always gonna be everything for me. That's my
Mm.
story. And I just wanna like encourage people to build like a personal relationship with him over everything. And I think that my music literally embodies that. It's not religious, it's not systematic, it's literally relationship. And I think that that's what's important for me. And I'm gonna continue to make music that feels good to me, that's authentic to me. I don't overthink none of this stuff. Sometimes I still feeling like I'm not churchy enough for these people, but God has me here for a reason, and I hold on to that faith, and I'm like, okay, God, you got me here, so I'm gonna continue to be here. So that's like my little.
That's beautiful. Let me, that's great. You brought out some good stuff too. Do you think that you're opening the door actually for a new generation of, music? Everything has changed with how the perception of music, streaming, how we've gone from R&B to rap, and it used to be that back in the day you were a singer and you put rap on. Now it's rap and you put singers on. But kind of gospel and Christian and secular within that genre has kind of in a way stayed the same until we got Mary Marys and some of the other, younger generation to come and kind of lift it up a bit. Do you think you are a part of that next shift? Because I'm like you. I gotta agree with you. When I listen to you, I don't hear. It ain't like I want to go to the club and get turned up. It's not like I want to go to church. I'm just lifted. You know what I mean? I'm just taken to another place. And so do you feel like you are a part of the shift and that something is happening on that end?
Yeah. And no pressure. That's how I feel about that. Like, and I know it because it's hard. Like, it's a little hard. It's not hard to make it. Like, it's so easy to kind of just allow it to happen. But I still feel like the tug and the pull of people who don't feel like this is what it's supposed to be. They don't feel like this is what gospel music is supposed to sound like. But ultimately, I see like the effect that it's having on people outside of the four walls of the church and how it's having them like create a different perspective of what maybe they thought it was supposed to look like. And I think that God is doing that all together now. It's so crazy. Like even with the pandemic, like we're all kind of in the same space. We're all going through the same thing. And I think that people are looking for something that's real. And guess what? You can't go to church. You can't go to nobody's church. You have to have a personal relationship with him or yourself in this time. And I think that that's what God wants more than anything. It's not about appearances. It's not about how it looks or what you think it's supposed to look like or sound like. God wants to know the core center of your heart. And I think that that's what and even with my generation, I feel like they looking for something real. And that's why it ain't no sugarcoating for none of that. They just like, look, if it ain't real, if you can't explain to me why I can't, you know what I mean? The super religious church, if it don't make sense, they're not standing for that. And I think that even though it's looked at a negative way, something special is going to happen with that. And it's going to break a lot of chains that has been on the previous generations before that hindered them from stepping out or doing whatever God is calling them or keeping them in bondage with pride and saying, okay, I will preach it here on today. So I personally do feel like it's a shift, and not only in the music, but just in culture, like, and what God is trying to do in this time is just so, it's real special. You can feel it. I mean, I could feel it, but I'm just doing what, I'm doing what I feel I'm supposed to do. I just want to make good music. Like, I'm just being real. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I keep it all the way a stack. So whatever you hear comes from me is like literally like organic. I don't overthink it. And that's why I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to change my sound to appease this group of people, that group of people. We're going to keep it at what the Lord wants Koryn to say, okay? And I feel like you're doing a good job.
Let me just say I love you for that, for staying in your light and knowing your purpose, because that's what's going to bring about a change. And do you feel like that's a part of your drive? Because if you do get pushback from, let's go ahead and say it, the saints, the people who are rooted and grounded and stuck in that old fashioned, religion, if you will, but then things are different. We live different. Everything about our way of life is different. So we need something that's going to put us on the ground and get us going every day to talk about what's really impacting us. And to me, that's what you do. Do you feel like that is what keeps you going? That's your drive?
My drive, man. Like, I think ultimately I just have like built-in confidence like within myself. That's a gift. Like, everybody don't have that. But you see me? I'm gonna do what I think I'm supposed to do, and I don't care.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that every day. Like, the things that like I experience, like some of the negativity, like it ain't for the weak-minded. So I'm grateful that I have confidence. I've been doing this long enough to know, like, I'm confident. And like, not to like my album, the title of my album is I Am. And that's kind of where we get inspiration from. Is like, I am gonna be everything that I know that I was meant to be. I'm no longer, because there was a time where I did doubt, and I said, well, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe I was supposed to do something else. Maybe I'm supposed to be more like this. And if the devil could get you to doubt, he can delay, okay, what God is trying to do in your life. I just personally feel like I'm not doing that no more. I'm in the season of I am, and I'm gonna boldly and confidently step into that. That way we can get the job done, and hopefully it inspires other people to step into the I am season of their lives. You know your identity, you know who you are, because that definitely gives me the drive. Is that like, you ain't been working for this or nothing. You're not crazy, okay? That intuition on the inside of yourself, or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. If you don't want to say that God gave you the gift, okay, that intuition on the inside of you that tells you that you're supposed to be doing what you know you're supposed to be doing, you ain't lying to yourself. You're not crazy. So of course, there are going to be some naysayers, trials and tribulations will come, but ultimately, if you fully believe in that thing and you trust in yourself, trust in God, it'll all come together. And that's what keeps me driven. Is like, I know that God chose me for this, and can't nobody tell me different. Saints can't tell me different. Okay, people that's not in the church can't tell me different. I have to know it. That's why personal relationship is so important, because you gotta hear it for yourself. They got some people who looking for words, and they going to people in churches and looking for this. People are not always gonna have the answers. That's why you have to have a personal relationship with God for yourself, because the way that somebody else doing it might not be the way that God is calling for you to do it. Everybody's path is different, and this is why, even with the way people in gospel or whatever, they've done it before, it's a different time, like you said. So you have to be just very like open to like what God is calling you to do, and that's just my advice on that.
Now we about to go there. Now we about to stir them up right now, because I know I got somebody on here that can go there with me. Do you feel like, okay, so you know we've got all of this stuff going on in the music industry with our young millennials. We've got a lot of interesting music. We got a lot of interesting stories and stuff that's going on out there. How do we get our young kids, our young generation, to fall more in line with finding God, finding a purpose? Not even so much as, oh, go find Jesus, but find your purpose, your light, your hope, and stop, because I see a lot of our kids out there wondering. They look like they got it together. They're flashing it on Instagram. They're doing all this stuff, but really, you really need something that's higher, that's going to lift you up and open you up, like where you are. How do we get our young generation to kind of open up and experiment with the higher power, if you will?
Like, what's so crazy is like, man, I don't know. I always say, like, if you're gonna try something, we try so many things like that are just like, you taking chances on that stuff, right? Like, I can try anything. There's no guarantee that this thing is gonna work out for me. But like, my encouragement to them would be like, just try it. Like you said, experiment. Y'all be experiment with every other doggone thing. Experiment with the Lord. Just see what's gonna happen. Because I'm trying to tell you, it's literally a 100% success rate. It's no failure within this thing. And I mean, look at my life. Literally, all I did was say, I'm gonna explore this. Let me see, like, what God, you have a plan for my life. I want to know what that thing is, and this is the best decision that I've ever made in my life, 100%. And I just think also, like, my encouragement to them is like, yo, like, I don't like the whole idea of like Christianity or like living right being unachievable. Like, I don't like that whole narrative. It's like, oh my God, it's hard. Like, I gotta give this up. I gotta give that up. If I could encourage like the young people, the young generation, is literally just try them. And all of those other things will come. You do not have to have a problem with smoking weed, if you're drinking, sex, lust, whatever your problem is. I do not want for you to sit up here and think about, if I'm trying to start to build a relationship with Jesus, I'm going to have to let all of those things go. The truth of the matter is, we love sin. It's our nature, okay? You're going to slip, you're going to have mess ups, you're going to have falls. But it's not for you to defeat those things. It's Him that comes in and ultimately allows you to, push those things away and helps you to be better. So take the pressure off of yourself. I tell that to myself every day, is that I can't put the pressure on myself, but it's literally just try Jesus. Don't try me.
All right now.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your brand new single, incredible single, Speak to Me. Where did that come from? What were you going through? Where were you? Because it's...
Well, you know what? When I did did this album, like I went in the studio every single day and just made songs, okay? So I remember going in the studio, shout out to Troy Taylor, who is a freaking legendary producer.
He's Grammy Award winner, right? Yeah.
Grammy Award winner, Mary J. Blige, Trey Songz, you name it, he did, okay? So Troy Taylor is the GOAT, and I go in the session, he's playing us different beats, and he played us this song with a Donnie McClurkin sample on it, okay? So my A&R, Ryan Hill, was like, Koryn, you gotta do this, right? So I just was like, okay, like, I know I'm a little bit different. I get scared because I'm like, okay, this is a traditional gospel song. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna spin this thing? So he brings in Jonte Austin, who is a legendary Grammy Award-winning writer, you understand me? And this man goes up in the room and write this song in 15 minutes, wrote the song in 15 minutes, sent it, and was like, all right, I'm out, okay? I heard the song back, and I just was like, yo, this is, well, first of all, Jonte is just a genius with his cadence and how he sings songs and how he writes them, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to do it, okay? Because then he left. So I'm recording the song, and I'm super excited because, like, I personally feel like I'm a pretty good singer. Like, I've been singing ever since I was a kid, but normally I get in the studio, and they just let me do what I want to do. But Troy Taylor is a perfectionist, okay? And I was in that. This was a little bit of a struggle, but it was fun for me because it challenged me, like, vocally. And we finished the song, and I remember just being like, oh, I just thought that it was a vibe. Like, first things first. I said, let's get Uncle Charlie on it. That is the first thing that I said. And Uncle Charlie, baby, if you're listening, it's not too late. You can still remix, okay?
There's always the remix.
Was get Uncle Charlie on this record, okay? Because it just immediately took me to family time. When I'm chilling, I don't know about y'all, but like when I'm chilling with my family and we're cooking and we having a good time, that vibe of just you felt the love, you felt the energy, and then the message. I was like, yo, this is so my personal relationship with God is so down to earth. It is so come as you are. And the crazy thing about it is I didn't even think about the song. Like now people are messaging me like, is this a gospel song? Is this about a man? I never even thought about it that way until like I heard other people's perspectives. But I think it's like really, really dope. So people like, can I play this at my wedding? Baby, play it at your wedding, okay? Play it at your wedding. But I know for a fact that we wrote this just off the intention. First of all, Jonte is just a genius and all that he does. But of course, it was a spin on a legendary Donnie McClurkin sample, and we just wanted to flip it. Like, you know all the ways to speak to me, and I promise to be honest when I speak to you. The original was speak to my heart. So now it was like, okay, this is us talking back to him.
Right.
So like now it's like really dope to kind of see different people's perspectives and how like they plan it into their relationships. And I didn't even think about it like that, but I was like, okay, God, I'll take that responsibility because one day I'm gonna have to be somebody's wife, and I will hope that our love reflects the love that Christ gives to us.
Right.
So if you love somebody and you rocking out to this song, I hope that y'all know that this was literally these seeds were planted on good ground, and this is that real good love. It's a love song. So I'm really excited about this record, man. Like I can't wait to see what happens with it because it definitely goes on both sides. So
what America when you first came out, America got to see you on The Voice as a finalist. Team Pharrell, what was that like when you got the call, when you found out that the world was about to see you now? Everyone.
Oh, Lord. I think I felt like I've been working for this my whole life. That's what I felt like.
Oh, wow.
That's what I felt like. I've been auditioning for things since I was 11. And I think from me it was more so like, okay, like, I don't even like think that I like overthought it because like it's so crazy. That's how God works. It's like he's been preparing me for that moment my whole life. I can compete now. I'm competitive.
I love it.
I've been doing this since I was 7 years old. Like I got like in the back, like I know how to compete. I got this. You know?
Got it. Right.
So, it was like game mode for me, and like I really felt like I've been working for this my whole life, and my prayer was, God, take me to the finals. That's all I want. I just want to go to the end, and he did that for me. So everything else was kind of like smooth sailing from then. Like I was excited to pick something. Like it was fun. Like this was like my playhouse. Like this is it. That's what I felt like. I was super excited to just like pick my songs and just like, I don't know. And I don't think that I even realized how massive it was, like that the whole world actually was seeing me. Like
everybody.
after the fact.
Yeah.
Like when I was in it, it didn't feel like that. It just felt like because I was on the go. Like
Yes.
like you got a schedule from sun up to sundown every single day. So I don't think I had a chance to actually sit in it. But when I got to go home, because when you make it to the finals, you get to come back to your hometown. That was the moment for me. When I got to come back and feel the love of them people, y'all, that's a moment I will literally never, ever forget. So even being able to give hope and inspiration, I come from a super small town where they feel like nobody make it from out of there. So it just was like a really dope, this is always just going to be a really dope moment for me. So shout out to my hometown and shout out to the boys.
Also, what people may not know is that you took over Spotify's Black Girl Magic playlist. You were the first, you are the first young lady, gospel artist to ever do that. So you are the first of something. You've made history. What is that about? Tell us about that.
Like, but I was like super honored to be able to do it. Like I saw like Kelly Rowland had did it. Like I just was like, I want to be able to do this.
Yes.
Good songs for y'all because we have full mix from Tamala Man to Summer Walker. You understand me? We was
right.
We was in it, so it's just like a really dope opportunity for me. And I just hope that they like, I don't know, just being a black. I'm happy to be a black girl, man. Every day.
Yes.
Look up black again, you understand me? So anything dealing with that and just the fact that, like you said, I was the first gospel artist to do that, man.
First, babe. The first. So, congratulations. Before we close, I want to ask, let's go back to COVID. What have you learned about yourself, during all of this chaos that we've gone through this year with COVID, murders, politics? Everything has just seemed like it's in an uproar. But you've been able to still keep everything, at your best. What have you learned about you?
You know what? One thing that I learned about me is because I leave every weekend, like traveling on these shows, and I would tell myself, okay, I'm serious that I did not clean up because I was so busy. It's not true. I just don't want to clean up. And that's what I learned about myself, being stuck up in this doggone house. But on a serious note, like honestly, I think it really gave all of us time to kind of like address issues that you might not be able to address like all the time because you're always on the go. Like I actually got to like do soul searching within myself and say like, I have not realized this about myself because I haven't had time to sit with myself to even address it. And like I don't know, like for me moving forward, whenever things do get back to normal, whatever normal is at this point, I think it's going to be important for me to make sure I'm like taking time for myself and my mental health. I think that's really important, and to not get caught up with like day-to-day life and to take a moment, even if it's like a few minutes like to yourself. I think that's really important. And I don't know, like I said, when people was talking about 2020 vision, man, I don't want to see nothing else. Okay,
I don't even want to see that. I don't even want to see 2020 after. Yeah, I'm with you.
It sucks. Okay, it sucks to say the least. So I'm ready. But I try to stay, hopeful and inspirational because, like, I'm happy that I got to actually release music during this time.
Right.
I'm like the type of person where it's like, I'm not gonna like sit and dwell on a problem. I'm automatically like, okay, what's the solution? So I'm actually like really excited that I actually got to like give and like offer some type of like help in the time. Like that's like kind of helped me. It's the fact that I got to be a little bit hands-on because if I didn't get to do nothing, I don't know what state I would have been. But like just to everybody, I know like the depression and the suicide rates have kind of like risen in this time. So please, y'all, make sure that y'all take care of y'allself. Make sure you take care of your mental health and that you're talking to somebody. I don't care. Like, I mean, we're being trapped in the house. You can pick up the phone and call somebody. Just make sure you're being open about that. Like, I really feel led in this time to kind of speak about that because I know.
Thank you.
With suicide within their family in this time, and I just don't. It's such a sad thing, and I would hate, for this time to kind of be discouraging. I don't want it to be, even though it's a sucky year, we can still find hope and inspiration. So I pray prayers for people that are dealing with mental health.
Awesome. Before we leave, who are some of the people you want to thank? Who's been there for you? Who's been through thick and thin, rough rider? Who's just helped you get to where you are and who keeps you sane? every day.
And my mama on top. Shout out to my mama because she
Shout out
is
to Mom.
the realest person. Like, I swear, this woman been riding with me from the jump. And I mean, people got a mama, but my mama is more than just my mama. She has been everything, especially within this music. So shout out to her. Shout out to God. Shout out to my label who believes in me, my management team. Shout out to the supporters and people like you who like even give me the opportunity to come and talk to y'all.
Absolutely.
Like, care about what I gotta say, and I think that that's really dope. So
yes.
Shout out to the people that's really supporting, and I want y'all to know that I love y'all, and I'm super supportive, and I'm praying that y'all are staying strong in this time.
Thank you.
This is tough for everybody, and I know that you're dealing with your own stuff. Even everybody got their own stuff, so please know my prayers are with you, and that is all love. And I pray that next year it will be.
Yes. We can't wait to talk to you next year. Thank you so much for joining us. You are freaking amazing. I'm so proud of you, so impressed with you, and I can't wait to see you're going to do so many great things. So proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing, okay?
Yes, much love. Thank you.
Yes, to you too. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us right here with Koryn Hawthorne, and we'll be back next week with more on Sister to Sister 2.0. It's your boy Mike Lee. Thank you for joining us. We're out.